Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. In today's news update, we're going to talk about President-elect Donald Trump's canceled New Jersey trip due to mysterious drone sightings, as well as Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell critique of Trump's foreign policy approach and the latest geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. President-elect Donald Trump has canceled an upcoming trip to the Bedminster, New Jersey Golf Club due to mysterious drone sightings in the area. Trump accused the Biden administration and the Pentagon of concealing information about these drones, stating the government knows what is happening. He expressed dissatisfaction with the lack of transparency and suggests that officials should consider shooting down the identified aircraft. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI have stated there is no evidence that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat. Now, we have an increased drone sighting of drones that seem not to be of personal use. I don't deem it unconstitutional or even illegal to detain that drone to see what information it is collecting or to see if it's just someone leisurely playing with their drone. Now, Donald Trump had made a statement here. I want you guys to listen in and tell me what you think in the comments.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
We should know the
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided.
So again, Donald Trump canceled his plans to travel there, and we'll, as news come out, I'll make sure to update you guys as things turn out. Industry experts are expressing concern over the recent surge in drone sightings across New Jersey and New York. The CEO of a leading drone technology company described the situation as terrifying, emphasizing the potential risk posed by unidentified drones operating near sensitive areas. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has called for the Department of Homeland Security to provide advanced drone detection systems to local authorities to address the issue. Now, don't forget that Chuck Schumer is a Democrat. And as Donald Trump was stating, that the current administration that is in office, along with Biden, knows about these drones. So this is very significant that you also have the Senate Majority Leader coming out and saying that, hey, we need drone security. We actually need to detect what these drones are actually doing, because there was some rumors, there was some Reuters stating that these drones are actually analyzing and searching for radiological materials for whatever reason they're using that information for. But that's significant to really put inside the public's eye, because a lot of New Jerseyans, they are really concerned about all these new drone sightings, and they want to know what is going on. We've never seen these type of drones before. They're seem very, very large, commercial, or even militarized to a certain degree, because a lot of them only come out at night. So again, I think the public does know if it pose a threat to national security, public safety, etc. I believe that information should come out so people are not as weary as they have been. Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell is urging President-elect Donald Trump to reject isolationist tendencies within the Republican Party and prioritize military strength to maintain U.S. global influence. In an essay published in Foreign Affairs, McConnell emphasized the importance of American leaders worldwide to prevent adversaries from filling any void left by the U.S. retreat. He criticized past inconsistent policies, mostly concerning Russia and military aid to Ukraine, recommending increased defense spending and investment in new military capabilities. Mitch McConnell's all over the place. He's posing some challenges to what Donald Trump is essentially trying to do. He's trying to combine the Republican Party and say, okay, well, enough with this MAGA Republican versus traditional Republicans. We need to be all in this together, since we have the presidency, we have the Senate, and we have the Congress. But again, we understand that Mitch McConnell, he's dealing with a lot of internal personal health issues. Okay, that may just be his health declining as he becomes older, but I hope he gets better nonetheless. Let's move on. In a recent military operation, Israel conducted an airstrike targeting facilities in Syria. The impact of the strike was so significant that it registered as a minor earthquake on the seismograph. This development has escalated tensions in the region with concerns over potential retaliatory actions and their broader implications of Middle Eastern stability. And I have some coverage here for you guys. I want you guys just to see how large this explosion is. And again, it ranked on the seismograph for earthquake. So this was very serious. Yeah, that's a first take at someone who was in close proximity of this explosion, but not enough to be harmed. But nonetheless, again, a lot of this advanced weaponry and missiles and bombs is funded by the U.S. American government. It's funded by our tax dollars. Now, I don't want to get into the rhetoric and the conjecture about Israel and Gaza, Israel and Lebanon, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Hezbollah. No, I just want to get into the American tax dollar funding two wars on opposite sides of the map. Somewhat like that. Is it like this or like that? But nonetheless, we're funding the war in Ukraine with Russia, and we're funding the war with Israel and the terrorist groups. And I believe that there needs to be some really clear, concise issues proven to the American people why this benefits America and how this helps America. And I think those questions definitely should be answered by our politicians that are in office, because we're not getting the answers that we need of why Americans are supporting these wars. Now, Bill Maher, in a surprising turn, stated that President-elect Donald Trump isn't so bad. During a recent broadcast, Maher, known for his critical stance on Trump, elaborated that the certain policy proposed by the incoming administration might have merit. This comment has sparked discussion across media platforms, highlighting the very mixed emotions of political opinions in the current climate. Yeah, everybody's coming out stating that, Trump is really not that bad. And now they're jumping on the bandwagon. I told you, now that President-elect Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president, people who were against him, and here's my thing. There's mostly two people that are against him. One, those people who really despise and oppose every single thing he does, even the air that he breathes. But they see some sort of special interest, whether it be monetary, economic, health, whatever it makes, status, position. They're going to start turning the tide and coming to the right side and say, Donald Trump, it was those Democrats who gave me all that information. They're like, but you are a Democrat. Well, I'm converting to be an independent, or I'm converting to be a Republican. So those reports, I didn't have enough information, but it was so astonishing of some of the things they were saying you were doing. I just believed it. So, I'm really on your side nowadays. And I would call BS on that. Again, everybody is trying to protect themselves now that Donald Trump is coming to the presidential office. And the American people spoke. And here's the thing, whether you voted for Trump or not, he's going to be the president, the 47th president of these United States of America. And my thing is, if you don't want to get behind Trump, get behind America. Now, he's the man in place. A lot of you guys don't like your boss at your job, but you still show up every day trying to do a good job so you can get promoted. Do you not? So that is the same way that you guys who may have some sort of personal offense of Trump, or what he said, or what he was accused, what he was charged, what he was a felon or not. However you look at Donald Trump, I want you guys to look at the bigger picture, because I think we keep trying to make this personal. And it's funny I should say that, because my wife got on me this morning drinking from her cup. Her boss gave her this cup. Let's schedule that emotion for another day. Okay, for another date. So that's the way I feel about things, because again, I do believe in America first. And that doesn't mean you're part of MAGA. That doesn't mean you're Republican. That doesn't mean anything. That means that you're looking out for the betterment of your country. And it doesn't matter who and what you are, whether you're illegal immigrant or legal immigrant, you should want the betterment of your country. And I know a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. The United States is witnessing a surge in foreign investments as international entities pour capital into various sectors of the economy. Analysts add in this trend to favorable economic policies anticipated under the incoming Trump administration. Key industries benefiting from this influx include technology, infrastructure, and manufacturing, signaling a boost to the U.S. economic landscape. Now, these numbers are current by 2023, but I just wanted to show you guys what countries or what regions of the world are investing inside of America and at the rate that they're doing it. So we see 2023 is depicted by the burnt orange color, and we have Europe first and Asia second. And this yesterday we reported the CEO of it was Soft. I don't recall the actual company, but it was a Japanese company nonetheless, a technology company that's going to invest $100 billion inside of America. So yeah, they're already starting to get on Trump's side about America first, and they want to be one of the first countries to be on that good side of America. Lastly, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of tonight's broadcast. We're gonna have Chicago Red, also known as P. Ray, to come on the broadcast to help us out to facilitate some of this news. But we're gonna really generalize our news when it comes to illegal immigration and Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. So quickly, I'm gonna give you a very sneak peek of some of the things we're gonna cover to see if you're interested in. So the incoming border czar did an interview with Fox. I'm just going to play a little bit just so you can get the gist of it all.
The Trump administration has called for is for local police departments around the country to behave as ICE agents in sanctuary cities. That is not permissible. Any administration that would look to disrupt the sensibility of public accommodations consider them a threat to our democracy.
Far left Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson vowing to resist Trump's deportation plan, despite the illegal immigration crisis reportedly costing his own taxpayers more than $500 million.
This morning, President-elect Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan, is firing back. He joins us now. Tom, it's so great to have you on. I have so many questions to ask you, but let's start with this. He talked about sanctuary cities. Is the Trump administration, do you have any indication, have you talked to the president, are they going to just remove federal funding from cities and states that say we're just not going to cooperate with the federal government in getting criminal illegals out of the country?
Well, that's part of the plan. We tried that during the last administration, of course, but when President Trump didn't get back in office, that lawsuit filed by DOJ, of course, Joe Biden dropped it day one. But let me talk about what Brandon Johnson just said. No one's asking them to make his officers ICE agents. That's not what we're asking. We're asking to let us in Cook County Jail, the largest jail, one of the largest jails in the country, where we're back in.
So again, we're going to go over this in greater detail this evening with Chicago Red, aka P. Ray, about what's currently happening on the ground with illegal immigration and some of the plans that Tom Homan, being the new incoming border czar. And in this interview, what he was basically stating is that we're not asking Brandon Johnson to nominate or to transform his local police officers into ICE agents. No, we want to come right there to the jail, and those criminals who are illegal aliens, give us access to them. We want to take them out. We want to deport them. But Brandon Johnson, and I'll give you another quick peek. Again, I have all this prep for you guys tonight, so join in tonight at 6:30 Central Standard Time, because I have all these things prepared for you guys. I think you guys will enjoy. Listen in.
The Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is now threatening to arrest ICE agents if they attempt to deport illegal migrants.
I'm just saying, I'm offering to the people of Chicago, I'm going to stand up and protect the people of this city against every threat from this administration. And I hope the rest of the people in this room in the city of Chicago takes his threat as seriously as I do. Undermining public accommodation.
The problem with this, Brandon Johnson, is that you're not going to have the support that you think you're going to have. You use benign neglect policy of the black resident there, and you dropped in thousands of illegal immigrants inside of Chicago. which then the populist news media believed that these were black gangs inciting violence and killing people, where we now come find out that a large percentage of that violence came from Venezuelan cartels, gangs, and mafias. Trinidad Aragua, MS-13, F-13, and believe it or not, family, they are anti-black. And I have more information again. We're going to run this down this evening. Tonight is going to be a special broadcast. Please join in tonight because we're going to cover a lot of things that I think you guys will try to understand. And always, I accept all comments, whether it be for or against, positive, negative, but we should have critical, intelligent talks about these things so we can get to a middle ground of understanding, because this is not what we're talking about, because we have mayors like him who were for sanctuary cities that were going against the grain of the Chicagoans that live there when it comes to illegal immigration. And he's stating that he's going to step in the way. You're just a city mayor. I know that it's a major city in America, but we're talking about the federal government. We're talking about they're going to go past you and go to your governor. Don't you have a boss? It's your governor. And they're going to talk to your governor by activating those National Guard troops to do things that you didn't want to do. And now they're going to move you aside. You might even get fired behind this. Don't step in the federal government's way when they're trying to take out people who are illegal in this country, and you try to mask it. You try to live behind the veil. You trying to disguise it as you're protecting Chicagoans. You didn't do it before. You didn't do it before. You have all these raise in crime rates that's already making a city that is trying to really come back from a lot of violence that's occurred, and it wasn't black people. Don't get me wrong, there's black violence, white violence, Asian violence, but then there's illegal immigrant violence. And that's what American people do not want to tolerate. We have enough violence in America already. We don't need more violence from people who don't even supposed to be in the country. That's what we're talking about. Tom Homan, the incoming border czar, was stating that those people who are illegal immigrants that you've locked up because they committed violent crimes and they're committing crimes, those are the ones that we want access to. But Brandon Johnson's talking about protecting Chicago and Chicagoans by not allowing this. Again, the misuse of words and how they word these things. But nonetheless, we're going to break these things down this evening. I will encourage all of you guys to tune in. I think it's going to be a really good broadcast where you guys can really get some really factual information of someone who's actually on ground and who's an activist that is anti-illegal immigrants. I thank you all for joining me here this morning. You guys have a great and wonderful day. This is Blacklogic.